Time now to crown another classroom champion, and for this week's honor, we head to Madisonville High School to congratulate Clayton Fraley.
Classroom Champions, presented by American Momentum Bank.
News 3 Sports would like to congratulate our latest classroom champion, Clayton Fraley. The Madisonville High School senior has a 5.37 grade point average and is currently ranked second in his class.
One of the things that impresses me about Clayton the most is that he is not one of those students that just talks the talk, but he walks the walk. If he sees something that needs to be changed or he sees improvement that needs to be made in the school, he doesn't just sit around and complain about it. He takes action and he leads by example. I don't think he ever expects anybody to do something that he himself wouldn't volunteer first to do.
Clayton is president of the National Honor Society and a national champion in ag issues for Future Farmers of America. He's also a member of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, Beta Club, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Athletically, he was named All-District as a catcher and made the All-District academic team as a junior. Last fall, though, Clayton suffered an elbow injury that took him off the diamond, so he turned his attention to soccer.
When he told me the news of his injury, it seemed like I was more upset than he was, so I thought he handled that pretty well. And he'll hit for us during practice and do what he can, whatever he's limited to. And he'll be in the dugout just being a third, fourth coach for us. He's a student of the game. He knows it. His teammates respect him and listen to him, and he'll just help us out on the bench. He started taking a liking to soccer, and I told him to go for it. Do the best you can, and that's what he did.
I'm not afraid to work hard. I'm not afraid to put in the time and the energy, and I think that can translate well to college. I'm not afraid to study long hours. I'm not afraid to spend time doing something, because if I see a goal, I want to achieve it, and I'll do everything that's in my power to do that. But I also realize that my happiness doesn't depend on my success. I like the journey of being successful and the hard work and determination that go into that.
After high school, Clayton will attend the Mays Business School at Texas A&M and major in finance. Congratulations to Clayton Fraley of Madisonville High School. This week's News 3 Sports Classroom Champion.